First of all, I gotta ask, how did you end up on this video? Let us know down in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what got you interested in looking at steel cups. Now that that part's out of the way, welcome to the Pu'u Muay Thai YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on the podcast later, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review of the podcast. Definitely looking forward to interacting with all of you on there. If you have questions about anything we cover in here as well, don't hesitate to leave a comment here on YouTube, just down below. Or you can add us on Instagram, send us a DM, or hit us up on the Muay Thai Community Discord server. And now we're ready for the very highly talked about episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast and YouTube series. We are going to be talking about groin protectors. Specifically, the male groin protectors, the Thai steel cup. And I don't see a lot of videos talking about this or addressing it. I haven't seen a lot put out online about it. It's just one of those things that we have steel cups in Muay Thai. And it's a common thing that I see come up as a coach, as a ring official, former fighter, things of that nature. New students coming in asking questions about this kind of stuff too. First, I would like to get into a story about my introductory to Thai steel cups. We will rewind back to 2008 when I was in Pattaya, Thailand, having my first fight in Thailand. And I showed up, I had what I like to call a McDonald's cup. That's a plastic cup, very popular in the West for sports like baseball, football, soccer, things of that nature. You'll typically see that with like a jock strap. It's something that kind of just fits on over your underwear. And this is what I rolled up to with the fights for the first time. And keep in mind, this was like one of those boxing bars that they have in Thailand. If you've been, you know. If you haven't been, you gotta go check it out. You can't really describe it otherwise. But I will say this, they're not the cleanest place. It's definitely a place that has a bit of a character or a vibe to it, a little bit seedy, a little bit dark. And there's definitely some questionable characters that will be in these places as well. So I get to the point where I'm getting geared up to go have my first fight out there in this little boxing bar. And as I was getting geared up, I was putting on my cup. And the Thai trainer came over to me and said, no, you can't wear that. And I said, well, what do you mean I can't wear this? I need to wear a cup. And he said, you can't wear plastic. Like, plastic's not going to work. And, I'm gearing up to get into the ring. There's not much I can do about it, right? So I told him, like, I don't have anything else. And one of the guys that was there, he kind of puts his finger up in the air like, I have an idea. He runs over. There's like these gray trash bins that you'll see, like if you grew up here in the West, in the United States, you'll see when you are at lunch, you have like those big gray trash cans. They had one of those there and had a bunch of loaner equipment. He's digging down his arm. He's like, shoulder deep in this trash can. And he fishes out this thing that looks like, it looks like a mask that would go over your face, right? And it was a Thai steel cup. And let's just say that it was definitely way too small, right? Not trying to brag or anything, but Thai people are notoriously smaller than us Westerners. And this was definitely a Thai size steel cup. With that said, the people I was with were very determined to get me to fit inside of it. So I want you to picture this. I'm 18 years old. I'm in Thailand in a bar, about to have my first Muay Thai fight. And I have 3 dudes with their hand on my crotch. So now that we're here, they kept making comments saying too big. And I was like, haha, yeah, I get it. Like, fit me in there, man. Like, we'll figure it out. I just want to go fight. They ended up being able to get me to fit into it. And if you know what steel cups, like the Thai steel cup, you may or may not know, but the way they fit is kind of like a G-string. It has a string that goes straight up between the cheeks. It is what it is. It's not comfortable by any means. It's not ideal, but it does save your nuts. So it's something that I feel like it's very important to talk about, and it is a very, very highly overlooked piece of training equipment in Muay Thai, and it's something that I've seen personally change the outcome of fights. But that was my first experience with the Thai steel cup, and of course after this I was like, how can I find one of these? I want to get it. I went on the plane that night, so I couldn't go shop around for it in Thailand, and I ended up being able to find one. But it was one of those things like, hey, if I can save somebody from having that same experience, I definitely will. All right. With that, I really feel like it's important for people to be aware that these Thai steel cups do exist. Okay. I wish I knew before that experience, but I didn't. And that's part of my learning experience. So you might be wondering, what are the benefits of using the Thai steel cup versus the plastic steel cup? And this was something I was wondering too. I was wondering, like, why do I have to use a steel cup? Again, I'd only been training 1 year. I didn't know a whole lot. And this is the first time I was introduced to it. And until that point in my life, I had always used a plastic groin protector. The benefits of a plastic cup is that they're very accessible here in the West. You can get them at all sporting goods stores. You don't need to go to a specialty shop or anything like that. Most martial arts equipment suppliers carry them as well. With Thai steel cups, it's something that you're going to have to order online, go to a Muay Thai or combat sports specialty shop where they carry Thai steel cups and the authentic ones. And there is pros and cons to both. Like I said, one's more available, one's a little bit harder to get. Also, the plastic cup is going to cost much less. Here in California, they cost anywhere from $15 to $25. And again, very accessible. Whereas steel cups are going to cost anywhere from like $35 to $45 each. And that's going to be ordered online. You can't hold it up to your groin and see if it's going to fit and stuff like that. You kind of have to understand the sizing of the cups. XXS, extra small. Okay? Don't get cocky. Of course, all jokes aside, the thing is with a regular groin protector, the plastic one of the benefits is it doesn't have to go up your butt crack, just being honest. So with a Thai steel cup, that ties on like a G-string over your underwear. If I have told you in the past to wear it underneath your underwear, I am completely 100% joking. Any of my students watching this, please understand that if anybody tells you that, they're just pulling your leg. Okay? So it's very, very, very important for you to understand that goes over your underwear, compression shorts, things of that nature. But that is one con, in my opinion, especially for newer people when it comes into the steel cup. Now, with the plastic cup, it fits into a jock. It's very easy. It goes over your underwear. It just slides in. With the Thai steel cup, you see it has almost like shoelaces. They're not shoelaces though. Don't use shoelaces. And they tie around your waist, and then there's another one that ties up, right down the middle of the crack, right? So when you tie it, you have to tie it in a specific way. That way you can get on and off by yourself. For me personally, I got lucky that my Thai instructor showed me how to tie it. So I only have to tie it one time and it's done. And I'd never seen anybody actually do it this way. I believe I wrote a Reddit guide a long time ago about how to tie it on with pictures going over my shorts, of course, guys. Don't get any funny ideas. With that, it makes it a little bit harder for new students when they see it. They don't really understand how to put it on, and it creates this kind of awkward, can you help me put this on? And now you're dealing with people's, groin and stuff like that too. Very, very helpful to go look up online, go Google it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. None of them are right, none of them are wrong. There's no standard in Muay Thai. So whatever way you can fix it on, that's the best way. But with a plastic cup, you don't have that issue. You just slide it on over. There are other steel cups, I put that in quotes because they're not the authentic ones, that fit into a groin protector. And I will highly, highly discourage you from using those. And I will tell you why. Because one of the pros of using a Thai steel cup that ties on is it does not move. And I want you to imagine if you have a cup, right? Let me put it on this side. If you have a cup, all right, and it fits on, and let's say it fits, right? But then it slides over and you get kicked, that's going to pinch you. All right, and that's not going to feel good. Matter of fact, it could send you to the hospital. So it's very important for you to have something that fits on, that if it's going to be rigid and covering that part of your body, you want it to be fixed and not moving. So an authentic Thai steel cup is going to do just that by tying over the waist and right up the crack. All right, it's not going to move when it's secured properly. With a plastic cup, they will move, but it's not as rigid, right? But I want you to imagine that same jock setup with a steel cup inside. That will absolutely get pinched. So when you go into wearing a cup, a very, very big con of a plastic cup is that they can break. If you're kneed hard enough, or if you're kicked hard enough, those are going to break. And I want you to think about plastic, right? Plastics is pretty rigid, but if it breaks, it's going to pop back, right? Like this. So if it cracks and it pinches something and it comes up, you're definitely going to be in a world of pain. A world of pain. All right? And I have seen people get sent to the hospital by wearing a plastic cup during hard sparring and interclub competitions. With a steel cup, you're not going to have to worry about that as much. I have seen one case of a steel cup breaking, but it was a very flagrant turning back kick straight to the groin. That is the one time I've ever seen it happen. If you've seen that before too, you would know that no matter what, there was no stopping that kick. But when you come into a steel cup, it's not going to break like that plastic cup. So that's a very big pro for the Thai steel cup. And it's something that's very, very important. I'll tell you why. And that goes into just a little bit of what the pros and cons are between both. Okay, so the next part I want to talk about is as a ring official. So you may or may not know, I work as a ring official for a lot of Muay Thai competitions, some of the big tournaments here in North America. So I see a high volume of fights at C, B, and A class and professional level. So from those C class fighters all the way up to the pro, the people that are fighting up at the A class and pro level, 99% of them are wearing a Thai steel cup. At the C class, it's really a mixed bag. And one of the reasons those A class people wear them is because they understand that in the rules and regulations of Muay Thai from the Sports Authority of Thailand, it says they have to wear a Thai steel groin protector. They won't say Thai, but they'll say steel groin protector. It's actually in the rules and regulations. And this comes into the lack of education that a lot of sanctioning bodies here in the United States or in the West have in regards to regulating Muay Thai. The Thais figured it out. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. If we follow that procedure, that protocol, we'll have the same safety and we'll be able to save everybody's nuts for the future. So I've had fighters who've come through who are like that C class and I'm telling them they need to buy a steel cup. And I've had them straight up lie to me before. And I know if you're a coach, you've probably had them do this to you too on things such as running, diet, things of that nature, their weight maybe. With the groin protector is very important because I had somebody who's in the ring, he's getting kneed. I'm like, oh, it's okay. You know, he has a steel cup. And he came back to the corner and said, Coach, I have a plastic cup on. Man, that's dangerous. So it's very important for you to understand that this is a matter of safety and it can change the outcome of your competition, of your fight. As a ring official, the fighters who get kneed, there's actually let's imagine this is my groin and this is like my belt line right here. There's a target right above there, all right? So if you're wearing a plastic cup, the knee hits here, it's still gonna push down on the cup a bit. But this is legal. All right, they're not hitting the groin. If you're wearing a plastic cup, you might feel the plastic hit you because it's not secured on there. Whereas if you have a steel cup, it's not going to move and you're secured and you're fine. It's just, well, I mean, as fine as you can be by getting kneed in the bladder, but it's going to protect your cojones. Right? It's going to protect your balls. So it's very important that you have that. And again, that's going to change the outcome. I have so many fighters who get kneed here, all right, right on the bladder, and they say, oh, my balls, but really it wasn't them getting hit in the balls. They're getting hit above the cup and the knee is pushing the cup down. All right. Once it pushes the cup down, it feels like they get hit in the nuts. And also it kind of feels like you're getting hit in the nuts when you get kneed in the bladder. All right. It pulls everything up. It doesn't feel good. So it's very important because again, as a referee, I'm trained to see this and hear this, right? So with a plastic cup also, if you get hit with a plastic cup, you don't necessarily hear it unless it pops. Whereas a steel cup, it makes a audible knocking sound. So it's very important. It helps the ring official see when it was actually, and hear when it's actually a groin shot. So this is something that can change the outcome for you as a fighter. And it's important if you are a coach to make sure that your students are wearing Thai steel groin protectors for all these reasons that are involved. When it comes into competition for the groin protector, again, you could see how that could change the outcome. Because if I'm getting kneed and I feel like it's my groin, but really it's not, and it's just because I'm wearing the improper training equipment and protective gear for Muay Thai. When it comes into training in Thailand and fighting in Thailand, the referees are going to assume you have a steel cup, which is why, going back to the beginning of the video where I was sharing my story about it, why they're saying you cannot wear a plastic cup. it's very important that you wear that steel one, because the referees are going to assume that that is what you're wearing. And when people throw teeps, again, right to that spot, right on the belt line, they're going to assume that you are wearing a steel cup and you're okay. If you're wearing plastic, it's probably going to push down and pinch you on the side. It is not going to feel good. And not only that, but if you're wearing a plastic cup and I'm a referee, for me, I'm experienced. I understand, hey, this person's wearing a plastic cup, this person's wearing a steel cup. I'm going to notice that. And the thing is, you're kind of on your own at that point. You're accepting the risk of wearing the improper training equipment for Muay Thai. You're taking that risk on your own. So you can't yell at the referee, you can't yell at the chairman, the other fighter, if you are not wearing the same proper. And this will kind of go into, like I was saying, those C-class people who are new to the sport of Muay Thai, people who are new to sparring. And I get questions all the time. I'm sure you as a coach get questions all the time. Our team gets questioned all the time about it, is what kind of cup do I need? And it's very important. You need to have a groin protector. It's part of our rules for our academy conduct to have proper training equipment, and that includes a groin protector. So this came up a little bit in the Muay Thai community Discord as well, was for women, they actually make a low blow guard, and I would recommend it. And I will actually even say that it probably gives women an edge in competition, because when it comes into knees in the groin for women, it has to be very direct in order for a referee to call it. But I'm not saying that it's not uncomfortable getting knee low as a woman. I don't know, but just me seeing it and hearing like the pelvis get hit, it does not look like it feels good. So I highly recommend the low blow, women's low blow protector for female athletes. For men, wear the Thai steel cup. Very highly recommend it. You can check out the link down below if you want to purchase one. I have a couple that I have linked on Amazon. It's very, very important that you go check that out. Again, order something like if you are like a size, like for me, I'm a size waist of like 30 or 30 to 32 in Western sizes. I wear a large cup. All right, I can fit into the medium, but a large cup is going to feel much more comfortable around my waist. It's not so much about what your size is, guys, but it's about your waist size. Because if you're like a heavyweight, let's say you're 175 pounds and above, you're probably going to be a size XL cup. If you're 140 and below, you're probably going to be a medium cup. Anything below that is probably going to be like I would say 125 and below is going to be typically a small cup. Again, that's in pounds for you that are listening out there. For those of you that are metric, you gotta do the conversion. Again, this is something that we get asked all the time. And I've had people who look at me and say, well, I'm not wearing a cup. But the thing is, you're really taking a very high risk, and it's very dangerous. I've seen people get sent to the hospital from groin shots before. In sparring and in training, accidental. All right, I've had a steel cup on and had taken full-on knees to the groin while I'm just holding pads that incapacitated me for hours. Had I not had that cup on, I probably would have had to go to the hospital. So it's very important that you have the proper training equipment. And this training equipment is so good that in fact that the LAPD, the riot squad down in LA, actually adapted to use the Thai steel groin protector. Thanks to Ajahn Nakweed, my Thai instructor. Shout out to him. I wouldn't know any of this stuff without him. And it's very important to understand that even law enforcement at a high level, where it comes into a life or death situation, they're wearing a Thai steel cup. So if you're going into a competition where your sole intention is to beat the other person, impose your will, and finish the fight, then it's very important that you protect your nether regions, okay? Your cojones, you gotta protect them. That's what it'll come down into. It is a required piece of equipment. You need to have this. If you're a Pu'u Muay Thai student, you need to have a Thai steel cup. For women, it's optional, but I recommend the low blow groin protector. And if you're watching this video, you might be wondering like, man, if this is the case with groin protectors, then what about the shin guards? You may or may not know this, but there's actually one brand of shin guards that is very popular that could injure you and your training partners.